Good morning, everybody. We're doing our daily Bible reading. We're up to Nehemiah chapter 11, and we continue to read the scriptures together here every single day. We're going to open up in prayer, and then we're going to read Nehemiah chapter 11 if you want to open up your books. If you haven't seen the previous readings, please go along and join us for those. You can find them on my website, torahlifeministries.org, and the YouTube channel, Torah Life Ministries. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Baruch Shem Kivo, Mahuto, Leolam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our Elohim, Yahweh is one, and you shall love Yahweh with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might, and have these words which I command you this day be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children, and speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you retire, and when you rise. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and let them be frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorpost of your house, and upon your gates. That is from Deuteronomy 6:4-9. That's our morning prayer, opening up our reading here. We're in Nehemiah chapter 11, and we see here the people occupying Jerusalem. And it says here, it starts off in verse 1, the leaders of the people were living in Jerusalem, the holy city. A tenth of the people from the other towns of Judah and Benjamin were chosen by sacred lots to live there too, while the rest stayed where they were. Now, let's understand exactly what was happening here. It says the exiles who returned were few in number compared to Jerusalem's population in the days of the kings. And because the walls had been rebuilt on their original foundations, the city seemed sparsely populated. Nehemiah asked 1/10 of the people from the outlying areas to move inside the city walls, to keep large areas of the city from being vacant. Apparently, these people did not want to move into the city. Only a few people volunteered, and Nehemiah determined by a sacred lot who among the remaining people would have to move. Many of them may not have wanted to live in the city. Number one, because the non-Jewish people attached a stigma to Jerusalem residents and excluded them from trade because of their religious beliefs. And number two, moving into the city meant rebuilding their homes and reestablishing their businesses, a major investment of time and money. And then number three, living in Jerusalem required stricter obedience to Yahweh's word because the great social pressure of the proximity to the temple. And we see here today so many people have a passion and a desire to be visit Jerusalem, and even perhaps live there, and to live there, to visit there, and when you think about how much battle is going on there, and the desire for people to go there, you see people's hearts to want to be part of that. But now Jerusalem is rebuilt. Jerusalem is a thriving city. Back then, it wasn't the case. They had just rebuilt it and finished the walls, and they were trying to get people to occupy it. So Nehemiah, being the natural leader that he was, remember, he wasn't in any official position, but he was a layman, and then he was used by Yah to just organize and rebuild, and just an amazing example of how he can use any of us. Verse 2 says, and the people commanded everyone who volunteered to resettle in Jerusalem. Here is a list of the names of the provincial officers who came to live in Jerusalem. Most of the priests and Levites and the temple servants and descendants of Solomon's servants continued to live in their own homes in the various towns of Judah, but some of the people from Judah and Benjamin resettled in Jerusalem. And now we're going to get into another list. And remember, it's important to read the names in these lists. So we have Athaiah, son of Uzziah, son of Zechariah, son of Amariah, son of Shephatiah, son of Mahalalel, the family of Perez. Also Maaseiah, son of Baruch, son of Col-hozeh, son of Hazaiah, son of Adaiah, and son of Joiarib, son of Zechariah, the family of Shelah. And pretty much this whole chapter, or a big part of this chapter, is going to be a list of these people. So nothing too sounding exciting today, but again, they had to fill the city. Verse 6 says, there were 468 descendants of Perez who lived in Jerusalem, all outstanding men. And from the tribe of Benjamin, Saluz, son of Meshullam, son of Joed, son of Paradim, son of Col-hozeh, son of Maaseiah, son of Lethel, and son of Jazahah. After him were Gadji and Sally, and a total of 928 relatives. The chief officer was Joel, son of Zechariah, who was assisted by Judah, son of Hasanah, second in command over the city. From the priest, Jedediah, son of Joiarib, Jachin, and Zechariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Meshullam, son of Zadok, son of Mithroth, son of Atub, the supervisor of the temple god. Also 822 of the associates who worked at the temple. Also Adaiah, son of Lirim, son of Pelah, son of Azim, son of Zechariah, son of Pasu, son of Malchijah, along with 242 of his associates who were heads of their families. Also Amashi, son of Azel, son of Azi, son of Mesabeth, son of Imar, and 128 of his outstanding associates. Their chief officer was Zebediah, son of Helgadlam. And from the Levites, Shelham, son of Hazabo, son of Azarkim, son of Hazabeth, son of Bunai. Also Stabbathel and Jezabad, who were in charge of the work outside the temple of Yahweh. Also Methahah, son of Mecca, and Zebi, descendant of Aspeth, who led in thanksgiving and prayer, and Bachashbiah, who was Matthiah's assistant, and Abda, son of Shemua of Galil, son of Jeduthun. In all, there were 284 Levites in the holy city. And from the gatekeepers, Aklahim, Telma, and 172 of their associates who guarded the gates. The other priests, Levites, and the rest of the Israelites laid wherever their family inheritance was located in any of the towns of Judah. The temple servants, however, whose leaders were Zeddah and Gashpa, all lived in the hill of Opil. The chief officer of the Levites in Jerusalem was Uzziah, son of Benai, son of Hazabat, and son of Mattathan, son of Micah. The descendants of Aspath, whose families served as singers in Yahweh's temple. Their daily responsibilities were carried out according to the terms of the royal command. Now, as we're reading this list, in the next chapter, we're going to go through a list also. The list in the next chapter is going to be a history of the priests and the Levites. And then finally, we're going to close up in chapter 13, and we're going to see all the reforms and everything taking place. But these lists are so important because this was the rebuilding of the city, the structure, the atmosphere, and everything else. And these names might sound strange to you, and you might not know these people. But just think about for a second let me give you this an example. There's a town in California that a friend of mine lives. And a forest fire came, or wildfire came last year or 2 years ago, and completely destroyed the whole town. Completely. And everyone had to leave. And some people decided to stay out of that town, and some people decided to come back. And the government set up a trailer park where they can go and they could stay there and they could rebuild. And to know who's coming back and to have the historical of this would be really important for those people that were there. And from an ancestral standpoint, it'd be very important to know in the future. And right now, this list is important to know for the future as we see the Levites and everyone who's come back. And we continue reading. Athaiah, son of Mezabel, a descendant of Zerah, son of Judah, was the royal advisor on all matters of public administration. Verse 25. As for the surrounding villages of their open fields, some of the people of Judah lived in Karath Ara with its settlements, Debon with its settlements, and Jazaziel with its villages. They also lived in Jeshua, Molda, Bethplet, Hazashul, Beersheba with its settlements, Zalclag, and Mikanah with its settlements. They also lived in Ramin, Zorah, Jemetha, Zeho, and Adalim with their surrounding villages. They also live in Lachish with its nearby fields and Ascah with its surrounding villages. So the people of Judah were living all the way from the Beersheba in the south to the village of Haranim. Some of the people of Benjamin lived in Geba, Michmash, Ajah, and Bethel with its settlements. They also lived in Anthoth, Nob, and Anahiah, Hazor, Ramon, and Gitrim, Haddi, Zerbun, and Nebalet, Lod, Onan, and the valley of the craftsmen. Some of the Levites who lived in Judah were sent to live with the tribe of Benjamin. And then, as we said, in the next chapter, we'll get in the history of the priests and the Levites. And that is chapter 11 of the book of Nehemiah. And praise Yah that we have this holy word, this holy record, this historical record to be able to read these. And continue to read the scripture with me live every single day. And we only have 2 more books after this book, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, and then we've read the whole original covenant. And you can see all those at the website, TorahLifeMinistries.org. Until then, everybody, have a blessed day today. Yahweh be with you all, and shalom, shalom.